I'm Kenton, and this is Kenton Knows. In this video, I'm going to explain my thoughts on how to find and select a contractor. If you like this video, please hit the like button, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing to my channel. Anyone who has ever been involved with a construction project knows it is not always easy to find a contractor, as the barriers to entry are very low, which means anyone with a truck and a hammer can essentially say they're a contractor and start taking on projects. Of course, that doesn't mean they are qualified, honest, or will do a good job for you. So how do you go about finding and selecting a good contractor? I'll start with a list of items that I believe you should look for in a good contractor. Depending on the size of the contractor, you may not be able to get all of these items. Bigger contractors will surely be able to provide them all, but smaller contractors may not. That doesn't mean you can't use a smaller contractor, but it does mean you should be a little more cautious in regard to your selection and payments. Here's what I look for. 1. Do they have proper insurance? 2. Have they successfully completed similar projects? 3. Do they have good verified references? 4. Do they have a good safety record? 5. Are they financially stable and secure? 6. Do they have the appropriate resources to complete your project on time and budget? Before we dive into the details for each, we should probably help you find some contractors first. Start by asking your peers if they know any, or join some local landlord groups, local meetups, and ask around. Of course, you can do an online search, preferably find some contractors with good reviews, which are not always easy to find. Another way is to simply drive around your area and look for construction sites. I will stop by and introduce myself while taking a quick look around the site to see if the job appeared to be safe, neat, and orderly, or a disaster zone. When I say look around the site, I don't mean actually walk around the site, as it is a construction site. And if they let you walk around, you definitely don't want to hire that contractor, as they have just created a liability with someone walking in off the street into the site. Clearly, whatever you can see on that site visit informs you about what you should expect if you hire this contractor. Now let's assume you have a potential list of contractors and we are going to start the screening process. I prefer to talk to the owner of the company if possible and ask the following questions. 1. What type of work does your firm predominantly complete? With this question, you're trying to determine if they do a lot of similar projects to what you are potentially hiring them to do for you. If you are doing a house or apartment, you want the answer to be residential or multifamily. If their answer is predominantly retail, medical, office, or industrial, then they probably are not the best contractor for your residential project. Of course, these same questions work for any type of construction, so you can use them for retail, office, or whatever you're doing. 2. Tell him or her a little bit about your project and ask for some recent similar projects they have completed. It is similar to the last question, but the contractor should be able to provide some actual recent examples of your type of work. You can use this question to also ask for before and after pictures and references, or wait till the end to ask for references. 3. How long has the company been in business? With this, we are looking for a track record of performing. I would recommend only using contractors that have been in business for 3 years or longer. 4. How many superintendents or crews do they have? This lets you know how much attention you should expect from the owner and/or project managers for your project. There isn't a magic number here. Just be sure that you have a dedicated person who is fully responsible for your project, preferably on site at least a short time every day. 5. What is your annual volume and average project size? This helps you determine the capabilities of the contractor to successfully complete multiple projects at the same time. Average size is not a big deal, but it helps you see where your project fits into their normal projects. Will you be an average, large, or small project client, which normally translates into how much attention your project will be getting by management. 6. What is your mod factor? That's MOD. Small companies might not know this, but larger companies definitely will. When a contractor starts out and gets their first insurance policy, they receive a mod factor of 1. After the contractor has worked a specific number of hours without an injury, their mod factor goes down, which means they pay less for their insurance. If they have accidents or injuries, then their mod factor goes above 1, and you shouldn't work with a contractor who has a mod factor over 1. 7. Ask for references of both repeat and recent first-time clients. Be sure to call a few of these references and ask about their experience. Ask if they would use them again. Ask if there is anything they would have done differently with regards to this contractor. What were some of the things they liked and things they didn't like? Try to ask open-ended questions as you want the references to elaborate and talk about their experience to better inform you of what to expect if you work with them. 8. Ask for a copy of their insurance limits. I recommend finding a contractor with a comprehensive general liability policy of at least $5 million, but it could be less if your project is smaller. The policy should have a minimum of $1 million for automobile bodily injury and $1 million for automobile property damage, both per occurrence. Employer's liability of $1 million for each accident, $1 million for each employee, and be sure they have workers' compensation. And the policy should have a waiver of subrogation in favor of the owner. You should also ask that the policy name you and your LLC as an additional insured. In addition to all the items above, you should pay attention to the little things. Is the contractor prompt in his responses to your questions? Does the contractor take the time to talk to you about your concerns? Does the contractor seem to actually care about your project? Does the contractor seem professional and honest? Pay attention to the details around your interactions, as you must know the contractor is on their best behavior when trying to win your business. So if he or she isn't responsive now, it will most likely get worse when you sign a contract with them. One last thing to think about. Do not give the contractor money up front. Try to only pay for work in place and material on site. If possible, I prefer to pay for material directly. It's not about the markup. It's about ensuring I actually get what I pay for and it's delivered to my site, and mitigating the normal contractor request for money upfront for material. I know this deserves a longer discussion, and I'll cover it in another video, but please don't become a cautionary tale of having another contractor take your money and never complete the work or return to your site. Only pay for work in place or material on site, and you won't be taken for a ride. If the contractor can't work with you on this, I'd keep looking for another contractor. They will tell you that they get better deals or some other story, but if they want to work with you, they can still order it. You are just paying for it directly and ensuring the full order gets delivered to your site. By ensuring you only pay for work completed and material on site, you can essentially fire the contractor who isn't performing and hire another one without taking a substantial loss in terms of time or money. When you pay up front, it's unlikely you'll ever see that money again if you run into any issues with the contractor. If you like this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments below. If you found this video useful, please like and share it with someone else who might enjoy seeing it. Thank you for watching Kenton Knows, and I wish you the best of luck with all of your construction projects.